What's like a funny story you guys got that's like something crazy not a lot of people know?
Wow, that is so
very vague, but
vague.
Like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind of something you did or something that happened, you know, whatever. I got a pretty good one, I'll tell you, and then we can build off this. So, and I'll keep it short. When I was in the 9th grade, I used to always go over to my friend Jason's house. He doesn't mind me telling. He's good stuff. We would all stay there. We didn't drink or do anything. We would just play video games, whatever. But at night, we, for some reason, or maybe it was 8th grade. I don't know. It might have been younger, probably younger in 9th. But for some reason, it was fun to sneak out the window. Maybe it was 7th. I don't know.
Anyway, it
doesn't matter. We were young enough where you didn't have a car. So you'd hop out the window. We'd hop out the window. We'd always play until like 2 a.m. for some reason. And we'd like get out and he lived in Fargo and it was just a town. And we would go and walk around on the street and it was fun. And we never vandalized anything or did anything wrong, but we just walk. And it was really fun because there would always be cops and stuff. Okay. And we were young enough where we were past curfew, so we'd have to lay down in the grass or like you'd see a car coming, you go and hide. Yeah. And it was just exhilarating. And anyways, we were going to our other friend's house. His name was Logan. Bleep one of those parts. And we were going to like scare him or something. We were going to knock on his window and troll him. So me, him, and our friend Isaac go walking across like a long ways. It took us a long time to get there. And we start knocking. We're going to go knock on his window and hopefully scare him or something. I don't know. But his dog was outside. His dog started barking. Like the light turned on. We take off tearing. We tear off. So we're like, all right, we're going home. Okay. We're done for the night. We're walking across this busy street, literally standing in the dead center of an intersection with lights. The road is dead. And we turn and look to our right. There's a cop. And he's just sitting there looking right at us. And we look at him, and it just pauses. Time stops. And, like, we were kind of right here, and he was, like, right here. And I just see him turn his wheel, like, right at us. But he's still sitting here. And we all just go, run! And we take off running. So we go tearing off. And there's this soccer field over here. And there's, like, this library. And then these, like, ghetto apartments. A guy had just gotten shot there a week prior. And we go tearing off in this field. He's tearing off behind us. He's got his lights on. He had like a
lights on?
Yeah, he had his lights on. He had a microphone. I don't know why he was going so hard on us. Just one of those cops. But also at the same time, we probably looked pretty guilty of whatever we were doing, being that we were running. So we go tearing off. We get to this field, and his tires were squealing, dude. Like, and he's like, hey, stop right there. And we get in this field, and we go, dive, and we dive down, and we're laying in the grass. We got our hoods up, boom, boom, and it's this big soccer field. Pretty soon, all I see is a spotlight. I'm like looking back, spotlight comes on. He's got one of those little things on his mirror, and it's like,
I love when CJ tells this story and he gets to the flashlight part. That's my favorite part.
It's like going across the field, and then we all like look down. It like goes past for a second, and then it goes right back. And we stand and we're like, run. And we get up and we start running. And for some reason, Jason's legs stopped working because he was so scared. And he like gets up, like, falls, gets up, falls.
Okay, so maybe that makes movies a little more realistic.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious. He couldn't walk to save his life. He was falling all over the place.
You know how people in movies, when they're running away, I'm like, why did you fall now? You're like going to get stabbed. Yeah. But they get so scared, their legs stop working.
So then there's like these townhomes, and the cop just goes, like apparently that guy didn't want to run after us. I don't know, lazy. Anyways, he goes, puts the pedal to the floor, does like a perfect don't. Like, it was pretty sweet. Like that thing had to have been rear wheel drive. It was like, and he tears off, and there's these townhomes right here and a road that runs right next to it, and we're on the back side of it, and it's like he starts driving next to us pretty soon. It's like, and there's cars, and we're running, and then I go turn, and we turn this way, and we start running this way. We probably ran a mile, and we ended up getting away, and that was like a crazy moment, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. And we got to the house, and Jason and I were tweaking. Like, oh my God. Because we got back, and I was all happy, and Jason goes, he's kind of a paranoid guy. He's like, the cameras, there's cameras on the streetlights. We are done. We're done. Like, they know us. Like, we were all wearing our high school sweatshirts and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it was like I was here, and then I was back here. And Isaac could not have cared less. He went inside and slept like a baby, and I'm not kidding you. He had a small smile on his face while I'm dead ass serious. He was sleeping like this, like a baby. And Jason and I stayed up all night just Googling, if you run from the police and you get away, but they have you on camera, can you still get in trouble? And it's like, you're looking at 2 years in jail, like all this stuff, you know, and we're just like, we are in so much trouble.
You imagine Fargo PD's watching this right now? We got him.
We got him, yeah. And got him. So I go back to school and I was all worried because we were wearing our school sweatshirts that they were just, if they actually had the cameras, they probably didn't even care that they were going to go to high school and be like, hey, we have these pictures of these kids wearing who is it? And they'd be like, that's them. But never happened. Got away with it. Didn't tell anyone. Didn't tell anyone at school. We had like a pact, like, we can't tell anyone because people start talking. They're going to, you know.
Rat us out.
And we kept our lips sealed. And now I'm on this podcast telling it to however many people.
I always remember if that happens, if it's like your first offense, granted you guys were running.
He had his lights on, right, dude. It was full on running.
They usually just go like, what are you doing out? Right and then they put you in the back of their car.
It really wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
Might have been nice. You could have gotten a ride.
But it's still traumatizing.
In trouble, though. We would have gotten in trouble because he would have had to bring us to our house. Our parents would have gotten woken up.
Yeah.
We would have gotten in trouble.
Would have been a whole deal.
But obviously, once you started running, now we're facing a whole nother thing.
Right. You're committed.
We risked it, and we got away with it. Risked it for the biscuit.
Do you guys remember that feeling of like being a kid and you do something wrong the night before, and it might be as small as like sneaking out.
I know.
And that feeling when you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, I hope, or if you just got in trouble,
just anything,
whatever, and you just know your parents are mad at you.
My mom came.
The worst feeling.
My mom had to pick me up, and I had like an hour of sleep because I was tweaking all night, Googling, trying to figure out what was going to happen to us. And she comes to pick me up, and I had to go wherever we were going that day. And she was like, "What's wrong? Didn't get much sleep." Probably thought I was like out drinking, but like, I really wasn't doing anything bad besides for out walking around, and then we ran from the cops. But yeah, literally, it was one cop. But yeah, screw that guy. Honestly,
that feeling, it's like it could be anything. Getting in trouble, doing anything, and you just genuinely feel like that's why also kids will do dumb things to cover up. That's the worst. You know, they'll cover up and they'll get deeper, and then when it's all uncovered, which usually happens and usually doesn't take very long, they look like a big fat idiot. I mean,
dude, everyone when you were a kid would lie. You know, like you just would lie for no reason. It's so dumb.
Yeah,
so
dumb. You were scared of.
And then one day you just get. Well, you were probably getting caught all along, but you get caught, and you're at the age where you're like, "What am I doing? This is embarrassing." And then you're just flat out embarrassed, and then you're like, "I'm done lying," and you stop lying. Some people don't do that, and they just keep lying, and they're fucking 23.
Shoot, dude.
God dang it, dude.